Good morning and welcome to Monday Morning Coach. Now today, instead of looking at a leadership principle, we're going to actually look at a leadership resource that can help you aspire to the very top of your career. And what is that? Well, executive coaching. And we're going to look at 6 benefits of executive coaching. However, I have a better question, and that is, who in the world needs executive coaching? Surely not people like Schmidt, the former CEO of Google. In fact, let's take a look at a quick interview.
No, why are you coach? Is something wrong?
Right. Is something wrong? If you're on the top of your game, why would you possibly need executive coaching? Well, let's look at 6 benefits, and then you can determine if they apply to you or not. Number 1, continuous one-on-one attention to what is important, not urgent. For 1 hour a week in good coaching, everything slows down and the focus becomes upon the things that are important, but not necessarily urgent or screaming in your face. Number 2, expanded thinking through dialogue with an outside observer. Even the best executive teams are subject to groupthink. Studies show new employees coming in are absorbed into the company culture and thinking within 100 days. Through good coaching, you get access to expanded thinking and exploring new ideas. Number 3, self-awareness discovered through InnerKinetics, values clarification, etc. Most of us don't know ourselves well enough not to really understand why people either energize us or drain us, or how we gather data, or how we make decisions, or what pace of life we want to go through. Through good coaching, our self-awareness is elevated and we make better decisions. In fact, very common for individuals at the midlife point in their career, in the 40s, to all of a sudden do some additional work in this area and realize they're not really on the game board they want to be on. Number 4, identification and risk mitigation of blind spots. If I'm walking into the sun, what's behind me? My shadow, and in my shadow lurks the blind spots, the things that sabotage careers. Good coaching helps bring those into the light. Number 5, personal accountability for development. Most of us are not disciplined to stay on a strong development path. Good coaching helps us with personal accountability. And then finally, just-in-time learning by deconstructing and debriefing current events, issues, and relationships. In other words, you don't need to go to outside corporate training programs or read white papers or business case studies, because right now, this week, there'll be enough of these issues in your life that if they're simply deconstructed, debriefed, and determining how to make better decisions will give you all the personal development you need. All right, this week you got 3 challenges if you choose to accept them. Number 1, reach out to your professional network and ask them if they've used a coach, and if yes, what benefits they got from executive coaching. Just don't depend on these 6. Number 2, interview at least 3 recommended coaches. You're going to determine that there is a subjective relational aspect. Find the one you're most comfortable with. And then 3rd, and this is the most important point, choose the coach that has already accomplished your aspirational goals. Now you can imagine how terrified you were. It had been years of planning and preparation and training, and here it was, your time you were going to ascend the summit of Mount Everest. But you were at the base camp the first night and you were talking to your guide, and they kind of that, they'd actually never ascended the summit. Somewhat angered and terrified at the same time, you begin to pepper them with questions, and they said, "What do you mean? What's the problem? I've read every book on guiding up Mount Everest. I've read and seen every documentary. I've seen even, honestly, the tragic ones where all the people die I've even seen those documentaries." Realizing you still were pretty much upset, he says to you, "And I just completed Sherpa school and I got my certification." Now, why did that not really calm you that much? Well, Einstein said it. The only source of knowledge is experience. It's experience that is critical, which is why I say, choose the coach that has already accomplished your aspirational goals. If you want to be an executive, find a coach who's been an executive, hopefully 1 or 2 times in over a period of many years. If you want to learn how to grow and develop your own company, find a coach that's actually built a company, and then ask him something like, how quickly were you able to get to a 6-figure income? Find a coach that's already accomplished or ascended to your aspirational goals. Now, last point, stay with me. Why is that important? Because good coaching is about drawing out the greatness and gifting in individuals. And you do that through questioning, powerful questioning, or reflective listening, etc. 80 to 90% of a coaching session is going to be spent doing that. But a coach will flip into a mentoring role where you pour into a client occasionally. You can imagine what would it be worth if an individual told you how they ascended to their executive positions, or how they renegotiated a salary, or if they told you how they had worked with their options, stock options, to ensure the greatest chance they would actually get paid. Those would be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, which brings me to my final point one more time. Choose the coach that has already accomplished your aspirational goals. Now, at the beginning, I kind of misled you just a bit. The interview actually went on for 37 seconds. And so I'd like to conclude with the entire clip and Eric Schmidt's view of professional coaching.
For years, I've received so many different kinds of advice. I don't know where to start. One that comes to mind is to have a coach. Our board member in 2002, John Dort, said, "You need a coach." And I said, "Well, I don't need a coach. I'm an established CEO. Why would I need a coach? Is something wrong?" He said, "No, you need a coach. Everybody needs a coach." So Bill Campbell became my coach and has served me very well. Every famous athlete, every famous performer has somebody who's a coach, somebody who can watch what they're doing and say, "Is that what you really meant? Did you really do that?" They can give them perspective. But one thing people are never good at is seeing themselves as others see them. The coach really helps.
To which I ask the last question, are you that top performer? Are you that top athlete? Thank you for joining me for Monday Morning Coach. It's always great to see you. And remember, make it a great week.